Hello, my name is Philip Totaro. I'm the founder and CEO of market research firm IntelStor. Welcome to your weekly dose of truth to power. Truth to Power examines data-driven insights for the energy sector with a focus on renewables. On this week's episode, we're looking at the feed-in tariffs, public finance, and capital efficiency of solar PV from the IntelStor Future of Renewables report. The journey that solar PV's made on cost of energy is one of the most impressive in the renewable energy sector. Over the past 15 years alone, cost of energy reduced from over $400 per megawatt hour to under $50 per megawatt hour. It's put the technology in direct competition on cost with both petroleum and natural gas when their prices have spiked in the past. While cost competitiveness with the global average for coal still remains elusive, the anticipated future performance improvements from perovskite-based cell technology, which will allow solar PV to match the cost of energy performance of onshore wind and hopefully achieve an unsubsidized parity cost with the global price of coal-based power. But it's clear that the downward trend continues. Feed-in tariffs for solar PV have been an extremely divisive topic over the years, with many believing that the industry should be able to compete without subsidies. Feed-in tariff prices for solar PV in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, as well as Asia Pacific, have all averaged well into the $100 per megawatt hour range, with some feed-in tariffs in the Asia Pacific region topping $300 per megawatt hour. In the meantime, the paltry feed-in tariffs in the Americas region were influenced by the extremely small subsidies in the USA, combined with low average power purchase contract prices. For those that aren't familiar, the investment or production tax credit that is received is basically equivalent to between, let's say, $15 and $30 a megawatt hour, and power purchase contract prices have varied anywhere between $10 to $12 all the way up to maybe $25. So when you combine that into a feed-in tariff price, you're getting something that's substantially less than other markets in the rest of the world. But feed-in tariffs in general have sparked a discussion in Europe in light of the fact that they receive an average feed-in tariff price, which is basically twice that of the average that's seen in the Americas region, and almost 4 times that of the prices and subsidies received in the USA alone. Perhaps surprisingly, the annual public investment for solar PV has been very modest for the technology, which has become the top renewable energy technology in the world. Out of a total annual spend on renewable energy between $16.2 and $34.8 billion, solar PV only sees between $478 million up to just about $1.1 billion back in 2018. As we've noted, this low amount of public finance is merely indicative of the fact that investors believe that utility-scale solar PV projects are commercially viable, and therefore they're prepared to make investments with private finance instead of leveraging public-private partnerships or using public loan or grant funding. The most recent 5-year reporting period indicates that solar PV received a total of just $3.5 billion in public funding, which came at a time when the industry added more than 1 terawatt worth of new capacity. Out of the $396.6 billion of public funding spent on all renewable energy technologies since the year 2000, the total investment of solar PV has been just $13.6 billion. That's just 3.43% of the total funding to support a technology which has absolutely proven its worth with more than 2 terawatts of capacity installed globally. The Americas leads the public funding allocation at 39.8%, with the bulk of it going to Central and South American countries. Capital efficiency for solar PV leads the world with almost every dollar of public finance put to good use, supporting project development or market studies which have translated into new capacity. While Africa and the Middle East is proportionately more dependent on public finance than the Asia Pacific region, for example, It should be clear that this is due to a higher proportion of private capital backing project development and implementation in Asia Pacific, Europe, and the Americas when compared to Africa and the Middle East on a relative basis. Asia Pacific saw just over $2,000 per installed megawatt of public finance. Europe is at $11,000 per installed megawatt, and the Americas is at $18,000 per megawatt. Those are the lowest capital efficiency rates in the world for basically any renewable energy technology. While Africa and the Middle East is relatively more expensive at $52,000 per installed megawatt, this is still substantially less public money spent per installed megawatt than almost any other renewable or non-renewable technology in the world. And again, remember that capital efficiency is just the measure of the proportion of public finance versus private finance. So when Africa looks higher than the rest of the world for solar PV, it's only because they've had to be more dependent on public finance versus private capital. But we see that changing in the next 10 to 15 years as the technology's proven its worth. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm Philip Totaro, and this has been your weekly dose of truth to power. We'll have more to come from this IntelStor exclusive report, The Future of Renewables, next time on Truth to Power, including a look at the installed capacity and global region market share for hydropower. In the meantime, you can follow us on IntelStor's YouTube channel as well as your favorite audio platforms. And visit www.intelstore.com to join more than 250,000 subscribers to our renewable energy data solutions. We're adding subscribers faster than ever, so don't miss out. Register today. A full analysis of the global renewable energy market is available to online subscribers of this new exclusive IntelStor report, The Future of Renewables. And tickets are on sale now for the next Wind Summit event in Houston, Texas on the 3rd and 4th of November. Visit www.windsummit.org and join hundreds of your industry colleagues to discuss all the latest trends in O&M. We've got speakers and panelists lined up from companies like NextEra, EDPR, EDF, Pattern Energy, ExxonMobil, WEG, and more. So don't miss out. Register today. We hope to see you there.